Hi, I'm Mitch from Infinite Robotics, and in today's video we're going to go through creating a program on our Cobot welding systems. To create a program on a Cobot welding system, it's a combination of using the tablet Teach Pendant from Fanuc, which is based off a Samsung Galaxy, so the type of gestures and navigating menus is quite familiar to your operators because it's based off their phones that they're using every day. And then we generally just need to move the robot where we need it to and record the position on the tablet Teach Pendant. The great thing about cobots as well is you can move them around with your hands, so they're very tactile. And then also there's really no programming on the tablet Teach Pendant. It's very graphical. It's just a case of dragging the icon onto the screen that corresponds with what you need to do with the robot, such as recording an air move or a welding command. So the first thing we need to do is create a new program on our tablet Teach Pendant. So we go up here and press the menu icon and then press select menu, and it will bring up a list of programs that's on the robot. It will automatically save programs on the robot that you can reuse later. So that's great. So then if you already have the program created, you simply just need to load your part and jigs onto the fixture table, call up the program and run it. So we're going to make a new program here by pressing new, and you give it a name to describe what the part is. In this case, I'll give it something really original and creative, such as test weld. And then we'll go create. Okay, and we can see it's created a brand new program on our screen. Up the top here, we have what they call the timeline. This is where you drag your icons onto to record. Okay, but the first thing you need to do when creating a program for welding is to drag on the Arc Teaching tool. This will allow us to create programs really quickly and easily using the shortcut buttons on the wrist of the robot. And as part of the setup, there's templates, and in the template you can automatically preset that every time you record a welding position, it uses your required welding procedure. In this case, every time that I record a welding start or a welding end position, it's going to use welding procedure 1, which is a 3mm fillet on 5000 series aluminium in a downhand position. But you can see here we've also got one preset for vertical down. On a robotic welder, just like your manual welders, you can save multiple jobs or channels, depending on if you're using Fronius or Kempe. And then that allows you to recall them by the robot to weld any type of part that you're using on the robot. Okay, so now that we've loaded in our Arc Teaching icon, we can put down the Teach Pendant and begin programming. So very importantly, when you're creating a program for robotic welding is to ensure you set your Stickout correctly. So we're going to set our Stickout to 10mm using our tool here. So we're going to cut the wire off, making sure that the wire is not bent, because wherever you're pointing the wire is where the robot's going to go. So if you program with bent wire, then the robot is not going to be taught in the correct position, and the next time you go to run that program, the robot will not be welding in the joint. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is record our safe approach point. This is the point where the robot's going to begin the program, and you don't want it starting down near your fixtures or your jigs. It needs to be in a safe position up here. So to record a position, we just press the button on the wrist, and you can see that it saved our air move command there by the squiggly line. So next thing we're going to do is move our robot down to another approach point, somewhere closer to the part, and then we press the button on the wrist again to save the next approach point. So in our program, we've got two air moves. The first air move was up here and the second one down here. So that means when we run the program, the robot's going to start up here and then come down to this next position here. Okay, so from here, we've got a clear, accessible, non-collision path to the welding start. So we're going to come down straight to the welding start now, making sure that you get your wire in the joint and you've got your correct welding torch angles. Okay, and once the robot's in that position, we press and hold the button and then let it go, and it will automatically put in our welding start command and call up the appropriate welding procedure. So in this case, we're programming a straight line, so we just need the welding start and welding end. But with a robot, you can also weld pretty much any type of shape, such as circles and curves or multiple straight lines. It's just a case of joining what I'm showing you here into a much larger program. So it's simply just repeating what we've done here multiple times. So the next thing we're going to do is move the robot over to our weld end position. Down here. Okay, not really great torch angle, so I'll fix that up. Okay, and when you're happy with that, you press and hold the button again, and it'll put in your welding end command. So from the welding end, just like the welding start, we need to make sure that when we go to our next point, we're not going to run through the jigs or the parts, so you need to come out to a safe position about here, press and hold the button, and that inserts another air point for us. And then we can move the robot back up here, ready to go to its next weld. Press the button to record the position. So once we've finished creating all the points in our program, we press the tick button to say that we've finished teaching. And then we've got our program here. So if I click on the welding start icon, we can see here it's using welding procedure 1 for our 3mm fillet downhand, just as we expected from the template. And we'll just go ahead and check the welding end. Yep, it's the same. Okay. Now we're pretty happy with that program. We'll run it through and check it. So generally when you're starting off with robotic welding, we say not to just hit play and go. You want to check your program to make sure that it's collision free and you've got the right welding torch angles and that the wire is in the joint. So we run it in what we call step mode. So I'm going to enable step mode. So this will step the robot through one icon at a time. So I press the forward button. So the robot will pause and wait for me to press forward again. Then it will go down to the next icon, which was our approach point. And then I press forward again. And the robot will go to another approach point. Okay, and then we've got our welding start point. Looks good. Then we'll move across to our welding end position, watching the welding wire to make sure that it's in the joint the entire time and that we've got the right torch angles. Okay, it's at the welding end, looks good. Then we come out to our retreat positions or retract positions, and then we come back up to that safe point. Okay, so that looked pretty good. Now we can run it in continuous playback as a dry run just to make sure that it looks okay as a continuous run. So to do that, we turn off the teach pendant and we'll get the play icon down the bottom. We simply just press play. The program will jump back to the start and we press play again and it will begin going. Okay, and we watch it and it looks good to me. So the next thing you would do once it's finished is you turn the arc on and you weld it. So it's fairly straightforward to create a program on one of our cobots, as you can see. Most welders and operators can pick it up in less than a day. And the great thing is we provide all the kinds of hands-on support and training with every robot system so that your operators are ready to run from day one. If you'd like any more information or you'd like to see a demo in person, let us know. Always happy to help. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day and happy welding.